Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. An unsuspected stream came along. All right, let me check out a couple of things. All right. All right. All right, so it looks so far so good. Yeah, that's a little too loud. Too loud. Yeah. All right, let's. There we go. All right, much better. Hey, what's up, King? Kanan Hatake and King Ozzy. Yeah. So what's going to happen today, guys, is I'm going to. Oh man, this microphone better not blow up on me. So what I'm going to do today is a quick stream, somewhat, but it's mostly a reactionary stream. Now the thing is, while doing this stream, I can't show the official content, because last time I did, it got shut down. I know there's some people who could do it on Twitch. It's a little different there. There's other people who may get permission. I don't have that permission, and frankly, I don't think I will get that permission as it stands. But yeah, with that said, though that may be the case, I am going to be doing a reaction. All you're going to say is you knew they were going to do that? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started. I don't want to waste any more time, guys, because I don't want to see any spoilers in the chat. Nobody say anything. What I'm going to do is when I don't agree with something or something's there, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to bring it up on screen, and I'm going to show the rest of the class. All right, that's how I'm going to do it. So let me go ahead and do this for a moment. Let's go ahead and get started before I get any more spoilers. So I'm gonna go ahead and start at the 3-minute, probably the 4-minute mark. No spoilers, please. I want to see exactly what happens in this battle. I see the like ratio is 56K, but at the same time, you can't tell. People just like their style, so I don't know yet. I'm definitely going to watch it. Again, I want to repeat this. I cannot view it on stream. I would take screenshots and look at it. You know what I will do? I'll take this. Let's take the image I did, and yeah, see if we can use that as a source. Because I'm not denying that what's going on isn't possible, but it's just that, you know, I want to see it for myself. I want to see exactly what it is that they're doing, what they're going to do. We're gonna use this. This is what we're gonna use, and then I'm gonna put up screenshots accordingly. I'm gonna see if this is accurate. Let me go ahead and get started. So again, at the 5-minute mark, so we got a couple more minutes. Again, I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna respond to the chat as much, but I'll be commentating what I'm seeing on there. Again, you won't hear the audio at all. You'll just hear the how do I say, the lovely music, or at least that's what you should hear. Let me see if I've done it right. Let me get the source file. Yeah. All right, so I just want you to hear the lovely Tales of Symphonia music and enjoy that. I'm gonna get started soon. Yeah, thank you. All right. All right, guys, so we're gonna be beginning in 15 more seconds. I'm excited to see exactly what am I going to be looking at. All right, I see Adam and Eve so far. All right, whatever. AdamandEve.com. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why they have an apple in the original Bible. It never was an apple, but whatever. We critiquing everything. I'm gonna critique everything. All right, so we're gonna begin in now. All right, so Adam and Eve's 50th birthday. Skip. All right, so let me see here. Rooster teeth, interesting. All right, so let me see here. Goku Black. Body stealing arbiter. Weapons, armors, and skill to see who will win a death battle. I mean, I guess. All right. I mean, granted, Screw Attack has done a good job as far as production goes. It's like, and yo, Izza, if you see this video, I mean no disrespect to you, my friend. You've been a great coach, but I do want to say this. It's like comparing Izza to, you know, like, someone who's like, I don't want to make a comparison, but let's say like Lord Xavier. And, you know, it's not to say that Izza isn't a skilled Smash player, but like it goes down to the whole term. Like, I mean, Izza is a good editor, but as far as being like a super high level offline player, probably not something you would say. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that's what Screw Attack is. That would kind of remind me of, like, they're great editors, but as far as information goes, they're not 100% accurate. Don't get me wrong. I love Izza's content. He's definitely a very skilled and a top level Link. That I'm not denying. I'm just kind of giving like an example. At least back in the Brawl day, because back in the Brawl day, like someone like Lord Xavier was like the #1 Link at the time. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's like, okay, he wasn't making video content, and if you didn't know who he was, you wouldn't know until you actually played him, and then you would never forget playing him. And that's for sure. Especially because he's beaten like players like Mars back in Smash 4, and that was after Mars got top 8 at Genesis and won K-Tar and got top 3 at Pound 2016. So, I mean, that was still a very, very impressive win from Lord Xavier. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Back to the video. All right, so we see the afterlife. Let me see here. What consumes the thoughts of a god? Motor streamer. So Zamasu was divine justice. Let's see. Okay. Those were absolutely ruthless. I strongly doubt they could create order. Do you believe you can? Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, so they're still using the 9 times larger than our universe. That's pretty bad, especially when you consider that heaven is officially stated to be the size of like heaven is stated to be the size of the universe. But I don't get it. Why they say 9 times bigger than our universe when Daizenshu 7 literally says on page 44 it's infinite. And on top of that, hold on, let me get this damn screenshot on the screen. Let me show you guys this like type of stuff I'm dealing with right now. Because they can't copyright these images. I'll tell you that. So let's just take a look at this real quick. So obviously speaking, you got everyone's gonna have a different opinion. I'm just going ahead to upload the image that I'm seeing right here. This thing right here. I am getting sick and tired of this image as determined in Beerus vs. Galaxia. 9 times our universe? Like, have you guys not already learned that it is an infinite size structure? I mean, it's bigger than the observable universe by proxy because the afterlife transcends it. And even if you look at the heavenly realm, it's, you know what I mean? Let me look at the chat because I'm gonna, woohoo! All right, yo, what's up, Flick Gaming? What's up, LB? Just barely made it. Yay, welcome, Roz. You know, man, I'm just viewing it. I can't show it, sadly, but we're at the 2-minute mark for anyone who's curious. I'm gonna start back. Okay, so they said at most it could be 30. No, that's not at most. At most is an assertion you use when you reach at the extreme high ends of possibilities. Let me hold on. All right, you see, now they'd made Atari already like frustrated enough. So let's go ahead and give a prime example. I'm not going to use this program. I'm going to use a different program. We're going to use the classic Microsoft Paint because Microsoft Paint is the progenitor of, how do you say, what's that thing called? All right, hold on. All right, let me try something. Default. Oh, can't use that. There we go. All right, so there we go, right there. So let's take a look at this thing right here. All right, so if anyone could see it on the screen, I'm going to show you two things important. Look at the bottom of, I want you guys to pay attention to this part here. This part is the actual scale, and this is important. This will tell you how many pixels something is based on where I draw it at. So let's go ahead and pull up the image of Dragon Ball Z Universe 7. All right. And I'm going to pull up the official map Toriyama did. And by the way, Toriyama drew this map because the anime staff asked him to. But for those of you who hear people in the background, again, construction, my apologies. But let's go ahead and get it. All right, so let's just say hypothetically. Let's say hypothetically. Let's say this is let's say this is the observable universe in terms of size. All right, cool. Now, anyone who understands a basic formula or a function, you will understand the notion. I'm gonna use this circle. I'm gonna use the pixel scaling. Very simple. Let me use a brighter color so you guys can see it from point A to point B. So again, this is the diameter, okay? So orange represents diameter, which is D. I can't believe we got to do math. All right, so the orange is the diameter. So I screwed up. Hold on. Let me do that stupid dot again. Hold on. I gotta count the pixels it has. So that's about 45 pixels across. So D equals 45 pixels across. And it's the universe, so I believe it's 93 billion. So let me type it in. Observable universe diameter. Yeah. So observable universe diameter is 93.016 billion light years. All right. All right. So we're just going to ignore the decimal and just say 93. So we're just going to keep it at 93 billion. So pay attention, guys, real quick. So this is 93 billion and 45 is 93 billion. All I got to do is take a simple calculator. I could do it naturally, but I'm going to go with a calculator. Oh my God, hold on, BRB. Okay, stream, I have returned, but unfortunately, this is gonna be the most hilarious stream moment you guys will record. I burnt my damn hot dogs. That's why. That's why I had I was smelling something like, wait, something's cooking. I end up burning my hot dogs. So anyway, outside of burning my hot dogs, let me get back to the equation. Okay. So again, 93 billion light years is about 45 pixels. So if I divide 93 by 45, I can get how many pixels equal what. So if I take 93 divided by 45, let's see, 93 billion divided by 45, then the new number I get, and I'll just let you guys see it. I'm going to represent this. This is going to be in green. That means one single pixel is going to equal the equivalent of that many light years. All right. So there you go. So there you have it. One pixel equals this many light years. So the reason I'm doing this is because now I'm just going to do a very, very, very basic function right here. I'm going to get the diameter of the entire afterlife, all right? Simple. I'm going to use the color purple, whatever. You guys will get the point. Coming up soon. And sorry, that's my mother-in-law. All right, so whatever. We'll just, it doesn't have to be perfect, but let me just show you guys the very basic function I'm going for. I'm going to use pink. Why not? So let me get the diameter. So I'm start right here at this pixel line. Just a very rough estimate. So right there, 333. The 333. I believe it's 331. Hold on. 331 pixels. All right. Cool. So all I got to do is take this number and multiply it by here. All right. And that'll tell me how many miles. Whatever. Hold on one moment. We's taking 10 seconds. Weiss was so fast. Even he never said he traveled so fast and never will again. Yeah, I think that has something to do with Weiss not allowing a certain amount of his angel powers to go in. Let me see here. So I'm just going to take this number. Yeah. So that ends up giving us a new diameter of 684 billion light years. So as a rough estimate, just off of that alone, you just, obviously you do the mathematics. I mean, obviously you could just do the math. I mean, that would just be a diameter cheat. In reality, we would really go for more so how many miles it. So we know how many miles it would be across. But then we'd have to do, for the circumference. All right, so to get the circumference, we just have to take the radius, which is about half. So I'll just do the math right here. Multiply by 2 times pi. Which gives us about 2,147,969,333,333.333. So in other words, based on that number alone, I can just, that's the new circumference. So I'll put it on the screen. I know I'm kind of just jumping through this, but again, I'm kind of pressed for time, and I want to get back into watching a video. But again, that would be like the new, hold on. Let me just lower this font because I think it's too much. All right, yeah. So that's the new light year. That's the new circumference of afterlife. So if that's the circumference of the afterlife, then the next question goes to, all right, we got the afterlife circumference. How much times bigger is this than the observable universe if we're comparing circumference to circumference, right? And all I got to do is divide it by the universe. So I put 93 billion. And our number ends up being... And again, remember, guys, I'm doing a very falsifiable method of doing this. Because obviously there are flaws I've made, and I can admit that. But just on an estimate, that would actually be a more accurate representation of how many times bigger they are. So literally twice of what Screw Attack said about, or very close to double of what Screw Attack surmised for being 13 times at the most. Now, obviously, we all know the afterlife is much larger because it transcends, but you get the point. I just wanted to bring this up because this was quite annoying to see them surmise to such a thing. So anyway, I'm going to continue watching. Let me see here. So I'm going to watch and finish up the rest. So again, let's continue. Okay, so if two gods destruction fight, they can destroy two universes. Okay. Alright, so hitting shockwaves, blah, blah, blah. After fighting Beerus, Goku learned to tap into Super Saiyan God without transforming, effectively allowing Goku to reach such power well into space. Okay, that's true. They say, very rough translation, Super Saiyan makes Goku 50 times more powerful than his base. They couldn't find a Japanese speaker who could translate it accurately? Herms already did it. But whatever. It said Saiyans can gain control of godlike power without changing form. But if the lose godlike power, Saiyan changes to Super Saiyan, then the power of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, is born. Because of that, in new form, Goku and Vegeta achieved the strength that goes beyond legend. Zamasu took Goku's body from an unspecified point in time, at least a year into the future, suggesting his stolen body was stronger than Goku himself was in the present of their conflict. Wait, so suggesting his stolen body was stronger than Goku? No, that Goku was the same strength. Zamasu just has a different willpower over it. I get what they're trying to say, but like Goku slapped Goku Black with Super Saiyan 2, and Goku Black just got a Zenkai boost because of plot originally. Alright. This is the third time I've killed you. It really makes sense. I mean, I think he meant every mortal in the multiverse, because Zamasu, why would he stop at only Universe 7? Doesn't make any sense. It's very clear he's going to mortal wipe every single place with life. Especially because Universe 7 has such a low mortal count, so I don't see why that would make any sense plot-wise, but it's okay. Let's continue. Okay, an abnormally talented fighter or a protege. Kinda. Not really a protege. He's a good fighter, but I mean, he's way weaker than some of the other guys, because remember, Supreme. So here's the thing, a lot of people don't realize, this is in manga at least. Zamasu was holding back, but still had a little bit of trouble with Kibito. Kinda, not too much. Kibito still kind of put him, you know, a little bit on the ropes, a tiny bit. Shin is way stronger than Kibito. So Shin is stronger than Kibito by a good margin. Shin in Daizenshuu 7 is confirmed to be the weakest Kaioshin out of the West, out of the West, South, and North Kai. I believe he's the Eastern Kaioshin, if I recall. So the thing is, he's weaker. And then the Dai Kaioshin is way stronger than him. So to say he's talented when, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I think I'm critiquing too much. Let's continue. Okay, Super Saiyan Rose. Okay. Now they're trying to roast Super Saiyan Rose. I mean, probably still a more creative name than every other name that came about, so I don't think it's inaccurate. Especially since Rose or Rose is the Latin, Spanish, French, and Portuguese way, and even Italian way to say pink, including some, I don't know, whatever. Maybe Boomstick got a boomstick for a head. I don't know. Okay. Black Kamehameha. That's not even a thing. They don't even call it that. I don't know what they call. Do they call it Kamehameha Kuroi? I don't think they do. All right, so let's see here. We Saiyans can become drastically stronger once we recover from a near-death experience. So they're judging from what they're doing. They're compositing the manga and the anime. So if we're compositing anime and manga, that is the worst. You do not want to do that. That is the worst thing ever. Because if you're doing that, you're just making Goku Black stupid strong. Because let me paint a picture for you guys. In the manga, Goku Black does have Super Saiyan Blue, but it turns crimson, as stated by Zamasu. It turns light crimson when he goes Super Saiyan Blue. So when you go blue, it turns the light crimson. But in the anime, Super Saiyan Rose is just normal Super Saiyan. So, I don't know. If you guys want to give him that crazy multiply, and keep in mind, Zamasu in his regular Super Saiyan form in the manga clapped Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. And Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta took a Senzu Bean, so you can't use the whole stamina argument. It doesn't really work. So, yeah, he still got mollywopped. So, I don't know, man. So let me see the chat for a moment. Sorry, guys. It's hard to multitask. 9 times is laughable. Thank you. Still think it's finite based on Whis taking 3 days to cross it, leave it, and Whis takes finite time to cross distance. They keep trying to quantify infinite universe. Whis takes 10 seconds with Whis going. Okay, let's see here. No, it just means he never had to go that fast. Doesn't mean that's a limited speed. Yeah, it's not. I'll give you guys... So I apologize, everyone, if I haven't responded immediately, but let me answer that question right now. So if you are wondering why Whis is actually faster than, let me give you an example. How can you travel? Why does it take a certain amount of time to reach a certain level of speed if the universe was infinite? Number one, plot. Plot doesn't explain that. I mean, DC calls their universe also infinite, but characters are still reaching the edge of it, even though we know they have finite speed. But let me see this. Let me show you the guys this scan. This, and I know it's weird for me to use a DC scan because that's not in my nature, but this is actually, in my opinion, a feat that, this feat isn't an outlier, by the way, but it's definitely one of my favorite feats to show off when it comes to a character's actual abilities. So check out this. You'll see on your screen. It's very simple to explain this one. Why can we travel in a why would universe doesn't need to universe 7 doesn't need to be finite for Whis to travel in a certain amount of time? Because I know people say, well, if it was really infinite, it would take them an infinite amount of time to travel it. And it's like, not really. Not if it follows this mechanic. So as you see here, if you pay attention to this scan originally, is a Superman burst the very bounds of infinity, insanity. A Supergirl where to travel, it's impossible. So the point is, there are a couple scans prior to this where it actually shows that Superman had to keep accelerating. Let me show you that one too, because in case you guys think I'm trying to lie to you, I'm not. Promise I'm not. So here's the other scan that also shows that Superman is a beast. So as you can see here, it says, with speed that all but beggars description, Superman flashes through the limitless darkness. So limitless, it's infinite darkness, pushing himself harder, faster, until he surpasses the speed of light. But he finds no sign of Supergirl, and so he presses on. The glittering stars and all the majesty become luminous and blurs as the Man of Steel hurtles towards him. And then it talks about shattering the confining barriers of space and time as if they were so much as fragile tissue. But still, the woman he seeks eludes him. So still he races on. And as it tells you how fast, how fast was Kara moving, he wanders. Let me see here. Man, why is it so blurry? This scan is terrible. All right, there we go. How fast was Kara moving? He wanders forlorn, following. I can't say that word. Forlornly? Okay. How much more of this can I endure? But the question is pure rhetorical. But after another, the barriers fall until there is only one barrier, final barrier, etc. Blah, 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 blah. You guys get the picture. I don't need to keep reading. The point is, he accelerates over time, and Whis has a very similar property, you can argue. Because think of it this way. Why does it take Whis 26 minutes to go from Beerus's planet on the edge of the observable universe up into the afterlife? But for Whis to get from Earth to Beerus, from Beerus's planet to Earth, he could do it almost instantly. But the thing is, he says that is the maximum speed to his angel powers. Because remember, angels aren't allowed to break those rules. So that would be the only explanation I would give that would explain why he could clearly travel an infinite level of distance within a certain finite time. Because it might take him like 15 minutes before his speed accelerates up into that level of infinity. That can also be why the Xeno realm requires him to move at some type of interdimensional level of speed. And then once he leaves Universe 7, he might just be traveling into a, at that point, Zeno's world, because you're outside the boundaries of Universe 7, so you're no longer bounded to it. It could be just a whole nother different measurement. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine if the space between universes is about 500, Vingidicillion light years or something like that. The universe itself is infinite, but like what separates them in the higher space or whatever you want to call it is, whatever, finite. It's hard to explain, but basically put, it's fiction. It's very hard to convey why it takes it. That's the best explanation, though, is that he reaches that speed over time based on what I'm seeing. Because if we ignore that, then that would ignore the original two statements, and it would make the Daizenshuu false, and then would say, well, how can he do that? But we can bend space-time with his speed, so I don't think that moving to infinite speed is a problem for him, especially given he's dodged instant transmission and done much more. And even Goku has, went through Hit's time skip, including Jiren. So I don't think that it's too impossible. Obviously, travel speed is different for these characters than it is combat, but as far as combat speed, we've seen them do infinite speed in short bursts, but we haven't seen them do it in elongation. All right, so anyway, welcome, Harrison. Thank you for showing up to the stream. So let me go ahead and finish up the rest of this. Yeah, let's go ahead and see more. Harder and harder to kill. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm assuming they got most of these names from like Dokkan Battle or something like that. All right. Open space-time itself to create shadow clones. But they're not shadow clones. Wait, hold on. But they're not shadow clones. Why do you call them shadow clones? Is he watching Naruto? Let me see here. Time ring. While the primary function of the time ring is to travel between future, present, and alternate timeline events, it can also be used to follow other time travelers via space-time disturbances made by temporal alterations, even allowing the user to enter the past for a limited time. While the primary function... Okay. Okay. Okay, so basically, to keep it simple without them spilling out all this crap, Goku Black is a casual. And actually what really happens is Zamasu learns of, Zamasu kills Gowasu. He learns about the Super Dragon Balls from Zuno. And then he goes about and asks to be granted Goku's body. He gets Goku's body as a trade-off, kills Goku's family, then he becomes Goku Black. He goes to a different alternate timeline, or Trunks' timeline, to let that version of Zamasu know about what the heck is going on, and then that version of Zamasu hugs him and they team up. There you have it, and that's what's going on. Now, the present timeline Zamasu, he hasn't exacted his Zero Mortals plan. The only thing is that he thinks... He's thinking about doing it, but he hasn't done it yet. Because if they had let that Zamasu kill Gowasu, that Zamasu would have went back to the past again and then kill Gowasu right after. So again, it's the same exact thing. Nothing would have changed. It would have just been a repeated paradigm. Now, the only thing difference is that Zamasu let his guard down because he said, well, I'm going to attack you guys anyway, because if I clearly have made this plan in the future, that means I succeed now. Which basically, he didn't realize that, no, he had talked to his other version to help him succeed in that future. That's the only reason why they ended up working out in that sense. So there you have it. Basically, Zamasu just outsmarted the gods of destruction. He didn't outpower them, and he just went around in different timelines. It's very simple. I don't know why they made it so complicated. Boomstick, stop. I know they're trying to do it for comedic purposes, but it's so simple. So no, it's not necessarily a grandfather paradox. Not 100%, because you could just argue any other variant of Zamasu that exists may not even be evil at all. So it's not even like something you could just throw into the possibility chamber, especially considering the billions of timelines that exist in Dragon Ball. Whew. Alright, superior to Goku's Battle of Gods feats, replicated Goku's fighting style after just one fight, blah, 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 blah. Actually, he doesn't fight like Goku really much at all. Vegito couldn't beat him. What? That's cap. He just said Vegito couldn't beat him. Man, these guys are crazy. The heck are you guys talking about? Vegito couldn't beat... No, Vegito could have destroyed him. But he just had a hard time because he had to preserve his power. Actually, it wouldn't have taken Zeno. Whis could have done it himself. Or Beerus. But they don't get involved in mortal affairs. So I got an ad right now, so let me just go ahead and read the chat. so far, let's see here. He can fly in Universe 10, and what it takes a Bowman to walk through hallway in the manga, traveling an infinite distance is NTG for him. Yep. All right. Black literally summons other versions of him that are pretty much equal to him. Death Battle calls them mere Shadow Clone. What the heck are you? Yeah, exactly. Shadow Clone splits the chakra. And that has never changed. Not a single point in the series. Just Naruto just has way more chakra. But Goku Black makes him exactly equal to him. That's why he said, I don't even know where this power came from. I guess it's just me evolving so much. All right, let's continue. All right, strongest mortal's body. Actually, Goku wasn't strongest mortal. He could have stole Jiren's body. That would have been smarter. But, you know, whatever. It's like, oh, but, you know, Jiren doesn't get Zenkai. I mean, what would it matter? Do you honestly think any Zenkai is going to catch up to Jiren? Even after Goku's Zenkai and tournament power, he's still fodder to Jiren. Like, even Broly movie Goku would still get clapped by Jiren. No difficulty. Jiren glared away Blue Evolution's final flash. Mind you, you guys remember how crazy of a multiplier Final Flash is. Jiren glared it away. So, no. And you know how many people had to jump get Jiren just to win? Like, I honestly think, like, if you had Moro fight Jiren, I honestly think that if Moro fought a fresh Jiren that wasn't fighting everyone else in the tournament, like a fresh Jiren, and Jiren was allowed to kill and not limited, but because Jiren had to hold back so he didn't kill Roshi, had to hold back so he didn't kill Goku and many other characters. So think about how much he had to hold back. Jiren is stronger than Belmod. And Beerus was like, oh, I can't let the other gods of destruction know I'm about to help Goku. Like, why? Because they might laugh at him, or he might get in trouble. So in other words, it's very clear Beerus isn't like that. And remember, Belmod actually cut Beerus in the manga. If you remember, he used the cards and he cut Beerus. So Belmod isn't complete fodder. And the fact that they said Jiren is stronger than him, as far as raw power goes, that's true. Jiren even hurt and punched and landed hits on MUI. Of course, MUI was getting weaker as the battle progressed, obviously, because he was losing it. But at the same time, Jiren outsped him and kept up with him through sheer determination. So the fact of the matter is, even if Jiren can honestly beat Moro, in my honest opinion, Moro 7-3 would get clapped by Jiren. If Jiren's like limit breaker and absolutely going all out. And if Jiren has the motive to kill. Because Jiren hits harder than UI. The only other version of UI that hits hard enough is MUI. And Jiren, 90% of the time, he got caught off guard by UI because he wasn't expecting UI to come out of nowhere. So there's all those factors put into play. So honestly, I think I don't know, man. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm ranting, but that's just cap. That's just all cap right now. Jiren will body bag Goku Black. Jiren will body bag Zamasu. Even if you had Zamasu, Merge Zamasu, and Infinite Zamasu, Goku and Vegeta fight Jiren at the same time, I still think Jiren will clap him with his presence alone. I know people think like, oh, that's Jiren Wang. Like, no, you guys seen what he did. He glared at a Spirit Bomb, and he glared at a Blue Evolution who's stronger than a Kaioken times 20 Goku post Zenkai boost with a final flash multiplier. And Jiren's like, get that. Jiren's like, get that out of my face, bro. Like, you ain't do nothing with that. So just think about how strong Jiren really is, man. Let's continue with this video. All right, so I like these animations they're doing with the Omni Kings, the manga panels. Let's see. Oh, and fun fact, the Grand Priest, if you wanted to, probably could just erase Zamasu, or just add like a hacks and prevent flying or prevent merging. Because Force Spirit Fission would actually just separate Zamasu from the universe. But whatever, anyway. Barry Allen. Greatest heroes in history. Alright, so let me see here. Across time and space. Alright. Yep, Eobard. Alright. Eobard? I don't think that's a dumb name, but whatever. No one knew more about the Speed Force than me. Okay. Time capsule. Okay. Endangering lives. Don't worry, guys. I'm still here. All right. So anyway, let's see here. Okay. All right. Blah, blah, blah. All right. The background information. The reverse flash. But now with super speed, I shall add to that. I shall become Professor Zoom. What I threw, blah, 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 blah. I can move my hand so fast it becomes invisible to normal eyes. Okay. There must be a negative. No, with every step you take, he generates a negative speed force. We need to cut him off. Okay. As you heard, he traveled time and space in days. Bro, you guys get the point. The finite amount of time just means they're not transcending the Platonic concept of time. Ran faster. Oh, let me see this. Hold on. Let me go back. This is actually an impressive feat. You have outraced instantaneous travel. I lost. I forfeit. Earth has been spared, therefore must forfeit. These were the rules of the game. Wow. Yo guys, I don't think, guys, I'm sorry. I don't even need to see the rest of the death battle. You know, I don't think they can compete with that. You mean he outran instantaneous movement. I don't think anyone can do that in Dragon Ball. Like nobody in Dragon Ball at all can handle instantaneous movement. You know, nobody has ever attacked faster than instantaneous movement. So I'm sorry, guys, but, you know, I probably might just have to stop here because, you know, nobody, and I repeat, nobody, you know, has done that before. I know it seems strange, but just nobody has done that before. Nobody has caught someone in the middle of instantaneous speed and knocked them into a separate dimension. Oh boy. I'm not knocking. It's still a good thing to include, but I'm just mentioning it. I was like, oh, but this is not canon. I mean, I don't care if it's not canon. I mean, we're talking about instantaneous speed in the three-dimensional sense is easy to beat when you have time or temporal movement or temporal speed. Say, for example, Goku's like, all right, I'm gonna teleport. And Goku, Goku teleports. All right, before his molecules reassimilate in that area, Hit can technically, if Hit can freeze time long enough or move outside of time, Hit will arrive to the future, to where he was there before he even teleported. So the moment they say go, it's over. So, I mean, there is nothing faster than instant speed. The only way you can move faster than three-dimensional infinite speed is if you actually just skip outside of time and beat them before they even teleport or before the teleportation finish, assuming that they need to disperse their molecules to teleport from point A to point B. So again, that can go into a lot of different directions. So I really don't think it's like you know, something you could just no limits fallacy. Like let me paint a new picture for you guys here. So let's say, for example, I got a guy, you know what, we're going to use this. Let's say we got this man. We're going to call him Bobby Blabby. I don't know, from Ed, Edd n Eddy. No, I'm playing. He's going to outrun his predecessor, Blackensmith. I don't know what the heck you want to call these guys. Now, this is the end of the universe. All right. So let's say they race to the end of the universe. All right, so Bobby Blabby starts running. But the thing is, he's running so fast that he phases out of existence of the 3D. Now, hold on. Let me paint a better picture. They're going to have a race. This is the 3D world. All right. This is 4D time. And this is space time. This is space time or whatever. I don't know. It's like a mixture of both. Imagine he can go so fast that he phases out of 3D space-time and ends up here. So the moment they said go, he was there. Now Black, he's going to sit there and like, oh, I'm going to teleport. And let's say it takes his molecules 0.5, let's say it takes his molecules 0.002 seconds to, to disappear, right? And then it takes it another 0.05 seconds to reassimilate. So before he can even come back here, there was a delay. And this is also the same thing I explained about Granola's speed, because they said Granola moves faster than instant transmission. He's not moving faster than instant transmission. He's teleporting in point A to point B faster than instant transmission. Because when Goku does instant transmission, he disappears and then he reappears back into reality or wherever he's at. So this is exactly how I would explain this level of speed. This is exactly what's happening. This is the difference between teleportation and moving faster than instantaneous speed. So it's not that he's moving faster than instantaneous travel. He just simply beat him in a race. If they blatantly say, oh, nah, you're faster than instant, you moved out of existence. Like, I mean, whatever Planck length of time it takes for teleportation to take place at, that's what happened. Now, say if teleportation had no delay. If teleportation had not a single delay, it wouldn't matter. They would be equal in speed because it would just get there. If you just go like in the Team 4-star examples of instant transmission, you would, as soon as you disappear, you are back there. There is no time. You're literally in two places at once. That's how real non-delayed instant transmission works. That's exactly why if you read Dragon Ball Super's manga, let me actually pull it up for you. In the Dragon Ball Super manga, if we read it, Granola, when he does the super duper ultra fast instant transmission, the thing is, you'll notice the differences when Goku does it. Goku teleports, but then he reappears back into another area. So it's still instant movement. It didn't take him no time. The only thing that took time was for how long it took for him to teleport out of the way. So again, let me go into chapter 76 and find that scan where he does that. Because I remember that happens. Yep. Yeah, right here. This is exactly where it happens. So again, as you guys can see, I'm going to show you right here. So you see this scan? Let me blow it up for you. You see this scan? You see the sound effect? The psh. He's moving instantly. This took 0 time. From him to get here to here took no time. What took time was how long it took for his body to disappear out of existence and reappear. But as you could see, he was pretty much in 2 places at once. This is true teleportation. Obviously, Goku Black doesn't have this, so it's kind of pointless to bring up. But I just thought I would bring that up to just kind of show people that that's the real phenomena of teleportation. Oh yeah, that's true, bro. Right, Raya Sage. I didn't see the chat, but thank you so much. That's true. Cooler and Goku were moving in instant, instant quantum tunneling or whatever you want to call it. Oh man. It's like, I know. It's one of my favorite techniques. Your favorites? And it was like, so, like, that was crazy. Because as soon as Cooler disappeared, he already hit Goku. But the thing is, they're moving outside of a dimension, essentially, to teleport. So it's like, it's you guys get the point, though. I don't need to explain it any further. So let me continue watching the video. Hold on. Wally beat himself in a... That's me for up ahead for real. Thawne, he's always been fast. Faster than Wally, faster than me. Your aura protects you from friction. I can take that away. Okay. Uh-oh. The outer wall of the fortress appears to be a structure, but it actually composite millions of... But it feels like I'm wading through molasses. I know I'm moving at super speed. Although my vibrations are see in the skull, I'm making sure I do fatal damage to molecules in her brain. Okay. So basically, he can phase through something in an object and mess with the integral structure of it. That's impressive. I want to see how that would do, but given that Goku wasn't that much stronger than Goku Black, I would assert Goku, given Goku's base form, I'm sorry, I got to add a lot of base to that when I say it, but given Goku's base form was able to survive Hakai, I'm pretty sure Goku Black should have defense against that. So say if you phase through him and try to mess with his molecules, you got to be able to get to him. And then two, it's kind of hard to interpret, because I mean, if you manage to hurt him, then sure. But like if he has a key shield, how do you phase through a key shield? You know, because even interdimensional objects cannot phase through key shields. And I want you guys to think about that. Say if you could phase through something. Well, can you phase through interdimensional objects? I mean, I already know Flash and Reverse Flash can do that already. But I'm just curious. I thought when I went back, okay. They were tearing up the multiverse. I learned this from a friend. You never took the time to learn about the negative speed force, did you? I hate, okay. Speak so fast sounds like it's your own thoughts. Okay. I could steal your time. Oh, so he has, life steal. That's impressive. So he has what Whis can, so he could do what Whis can do. Because Whis can accelerate your age. Interesting. You and I are trapped in a loop of death and rebirth. Every time the universe is rebuilt, there is one constant, you and me. I've seen the future as a horrible after crisis. Wait, so if he went back in time and erased Barry before he got his powers, he'd erase himself from the time stream? So then he's not a casual. Even though he is a cat. That doesn't make any sense, DC. Come on. Let me repeat that to you guys. According to Screw Attack, that is, if he went back in time to erase Barry or Wally, I'm sorry, I'm kind of lost. If he went back in time to erase him, he would be erasing himself before he got his powers. What? He's a casual. Or he's supposed to be. So erasing him doesn't do anything. Retcon is from history. No, he didn't retcon. He just removed him from that timeline particularly. Not from history. I mean, from history in terms of that timeline, but I mean, that's nothing, I don't know. You get the point. That's like Beerus retcon Zamasu. It's like, I mean, you're using these big words like retcon in order to kind of like, you know, paint the picture that they're way more impressive than it. No. It's not the same as Superboy Prime. I wouldn't compare him to Superboy Prime, who actually did look like a retcon, considering Superboy Prime in the next issue was threatening the writers. Okay, I don't. Okay. I mean, that whole set, that boomstick set is kind of true, but I also got to say that most of this is easy to explain as long as you use the term parallel world. If I go back in time and do something to my mom, all right, cool. Well, I did something to my mom in that timeline. So in that timeline, I don't exist or I'm not born. But in my own timeline, I'm still there. Now, there's a difference between going to a different parallel world and changing history than there is to completely rewind temporality itself and unhappen what has happened. That's different. That's what Whis' temporal do-over does. It doesn't create a new time stream, as we said. If he goes back just about 3 minutes, he can still avoid making a new parallel world, and as a result, he can end up creating, allowing himself to make changes. All right, so I gotta finish up this video soon because we're almost an hour in. I haven't even finished this video and got to the fight because I have to take so many breaks. So he doesn't have a past or future. I am removed from the timeline. You don't matter to me. Okay, so now he's a casual. Okay. Reborn. You found me, and that instant you pulled the entire speed force into you to stop me. I mean, if Barry has the speed force in him, but I wouldn't say that he has the actual knocking, hitting, striking strength of the speed force's concept itself. Because the speed force exists beyond infinite multiverse, infinite metaverses. It's outside of the hyper time, if I recall. Okay, now we go to the infinite math. What the? Why would a white dwarf star do any goddamn thing to even a Frieza level character? I don't care if it had a mass of 10 decillion or 15 quadrillion tons. Frieza will still clap these guys if that's their limit. He took one to the noggin and took a nap. So wait, so you're telling me a white dwarf star punch can knock him out? So which one is it? Are you guys using Flashpoint or using all the continuities? And whatever. Roz was right. They are going to do a combination of him. It's not that you can't. It's just that why would you? All right, guys, I'm gonna pause the stream for now. I'll be back later. I'm gonna finish this up. I gotta go pick up my wifey, so I will be back. You know what? What I'll do instead is, yeah, I think I'll end it there, because I gotta go pick her up. Actually, speaking of which, I can actually just pause the stream, so I will be back, and I'll do a part 2 to this. Now, this is kind of stupid, but I usually would never do this, but There's just some things that happen to get in the way. Actually, I could just do a BRB. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do a BRB. BRB! All right, I have returned, and I do apologize for people had to return. Sorry. Yeah, just family stuff. I'm like, man, if you do not stop making assumptions, and I got the Chihuahua right here, so he's gonna participate in watching this. So now I'm gonna get into the fight, I guess, because they're kind of dragging out this flash part. All right, so basically, long story short, this dude is mad homo for Barry, and ain't nothing wrong with being homo, but I'm just saying he's mad. He basically I want to be by your side. Oh, so basically, I have a wife, I have kids, I have a family. He's like, so I don't matter. Like, dude, calm down, you obsessed idiot. Anyway. Okay. Reset timeline. Reset timeline. Even death can't catch me. Ha, that's a lie. People basically, the long story short, is a level of immortality due to high levels of speed and existing outside of time. The whole aspect of death, no, that's not Death of the Endless. That was Chasing Flash. Anyway. Okay, now they're going into Blue Chew. So let's go a little bit further so we could skip into the battle. All right, so we're skipping into the battle part. Right now I got an ad, so let me read the chat. All right, no activity has gone on since I have returned. That's okay. So let's continue. All right. All right, so let's see how this battle's going to turn out. Okay. Goku Black is appearing. The coffee cup. Okay. Okay, first off, throwing the human head. I mean, it's an interesting battle trope. But that guy would have got incinerated from a ki blast from Raditz. So the fact that that human lived that ki blast as a meat shield. First off, if you want an accurate hold on, let me just grab that screenshot. So let me tell you what really would have happened. All right. Now again, guys, I'm just kind of being a little bit of a, you know, a little stickler, you know what I mean? Ha 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 ha. Here's what would have happened. You see, if this was Goku Black, this ki blast has enough power to probably destroy someone. I mean, this ki blast has enough power to leave bruises on, well, you know, a certain hero we all know, right? And who is that hero? I'll give you an example, and I'll show you who we're talking about. We're talking about the one and only, this guy. You know, the same guy who cut Frieza in half, the same Frieza who survived a planet. Yeah, basically the same Frieza who survived the planet Namek explosion, which has been calculated to be around star level, given the planet Namek size, and that it could survive the solar gravitational pull of 3 different stars and not crumble apart. Yet Goku was able to deflect this with just the pinky of just its fingers alone. 3 years later, you know, or basically 10 years, 14 years equivalent of Trunks training, 17 years basically. Yeah, you know, that level of power, pretty much, long story short, heck no. You're talking about the same Trunks who would slap, well, not slap, but is stronger than Deborah, especially because of his Zenkai boost, who has a solar system level attack potency and would get flicked by, well, not flicked, but get slapped by Goku Black in base form. Do you honestly think a human being is going to survive that? I get it. I understand. Don't attack me, guys. It's just for aesthetic. I'm just being a crybaby, okay? I'm just being a crybaby. This thing would have obliterated the entire street block, and that human would have been vaporized, and the key attack would have went through and hurt him. And given he got knocked out by a white dwarf star, yeah, you get the point. So that still would have occurred. So let's continue. All right, moving forward. And by the way, I don't see anything from there. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. Let's continue on. All right, so he punched Goku Black. I think he would land a hit, but rather would have enough energy is another question. Okay, first and foremost, why did he jump to Rose? He used the scythe, and then he jumps to Rose. What the heck is this? Why did he jump to Rose? He was winning. He wouldn't use it to show off. He would only use it if he needed to. Because he didn't even use it when he fought Trunks in the manga. If I recall, I believe he slapped Trunks around, and the only reason he used it against Trunks was because Trunks got way stronger in the anime. As far as the manga goes, I don't even think he uses it like that. So again, why did he go Rose? Again, I'm not knocking Death Battle because I didn't even finish the darn fight, but like my whole pet peeve with all these battles is they gotta whip out the Super Saiyan forms. I'm like, you guys realize they would never whip these forms out unless they're struggling or Goku's showing off. Why? Why would he whip it out? Like, I don't get it. I don't know, man. It just bothers me about how they kind of are telling the story here. Not that it's terrible, but just kind of the way they're like telling it. But you get the point. Anyway, the fact that Black doesn't even use regular Super Saiyan, but goes straight to Rose, that just bothers me. What are you guys' thoughts in the chat? Assuming there's anyone left in the chat, that is. But I see there's some people in the chat. There's just nobody's given an opinion yet. But anyway, let me go ahead and see the rest. So he throws him up and punches him. And he punches him hard enough to go through the earth and land on the moon. And then Goku Black goes into outer space and hits him back through the moon and back to the earth. Now, that is amazing. Animation-wise, concept-wise, that looks super cool. That looks cool. But here's the question. Okay, now that's pretty accurate. Goku Black going into time, the time stream to fight him. I think that's pretty interesting. I like that. So let's show you guys another image of what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. That, I like this. I like this right here. This is quite enjoyable. Broly and Hulk had quadrillion times better animation. I mean, this ain't bad. I think they should have let... They're kind of using the similar sprites as Hiyori and Jutsu. But, you know. Okay, that was hilarious. So, he goes in time and catches Goku Black off guard and blows him apart. And then kills him. But here's the thing. Goku Black probably, you know, I don't know. Actually, that's a pretty interesting way to do it. And he starts laughing with the other. You know, why aren't you dead? That was a pretty good, I like the comedy they're adding. It's actually really, it's not too bad animation. Alright, so he punches Goku, Black kicks him into... No. The thing is, though, here's the problem. Here's the one problem. I'll go into it after, but... Let me see. Let me wait for their explanation now. Look at this dude. Wait till you see the... Oh, no. Alright. So basically a bunch of time paradoxical fights. Oh, I see. I like how they're doing continuities like the Quicksilver. That's pretty creative. This is actually really well done. They even got the animation movement of Goku Black's clothing. So that's actually really well done. Oh, it takes the time ring? Interesting. Threw him to the sun. Okay. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh man, this is great. That's how it ends. So he grinds his face onto the floor. First and foremost, he grinds his face on the concrete. Okay. Oh, because he took the time ring. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me see something. Hey, according to the Mohs scale, did you know that the ice and sub-zero temperatures in Antarctica is harder than steel? Yeah. You guys probably didn't know that. But you probably like, oh, Tari, why are you saying that? Let me give you an example, brothers. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me show you guys an example. Let me give you guys an example. Granted, this Goku's stronger, but, you know, I just want to give you guys an example. Oh, boy. I can't believe they actually did that. Let me show you guys this. This is fan art, but this did happen in the movie. Do you guys remember this? Who got their face grinded up? Like, why kill him in that fashion? You couldn't get more. I mean, it was a cool kill. Don't get me wrong, but why? Do you honestly think running his face on the ground across the planet is going to do anything to him? The same guy. Let me tell you. Let me show you this. 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 Hold on. Hold on. Let me show you guys this picture. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Boom. Your punching power is different than it was 5 minutes ago. Beers. Oh, your power went up too. Oh my goodness. Hold on. But you know what's even funnier than all of that? What are they doing? What are they doing? I'll show you. What does the narrator say? It says, Beerus, the god of destruction, and Son Goku. The two continue their brawl, hitting each other again and again with power capable of destroying even the universe itself. Just how will this battle end? Wait, hitting? Wait, what's that word? Hitting each other? Hello? This dude is just talking to him. Like, hey, he got a fist crammed in his face. Hey, your punching power is completely different than it was 5 minutes ago. And Beerus got a fist to his face. Oh, yeah, you got pretty strong too, bro. Like, these are the same. And keep in mind, base Goku is stronger than this. And it still took a Super Saiyan 2 level multiplier to fight base Goku Black. And you're telling me he's going to get his face grinded on the ground? The question they didn't answer right here, that I hope they might answer in the analysis part. The question they didn't answer right here is one word I'm looking for, guys. One word I'm looking for. Can anyone in the chat guess what word I'm looking for? Can anyone in the chat guess what word I'm looking for? I want you guys to see if you can guess. If you can't guess, that's fine. Just let me know. I just want to know if you guys can guess or not. Because if you can't, that's fine. But if you can't, let me spell it out for you. Other than bypassing molecules, read this. And if you can't read it, allow me to put an outline to it to help you. Allow me, please, to put an outline to help you so you can read it. Now read it. Read it carefully. Read it vigorously. Does he have the AP to hurt Black? That's the question. If he doesn't have this, he ain't hurting him. He could bypass durability. So does Hakai. So does hits punches most of the time. The question isn't about what he bypasses. It's how much impact does he actually have. You remember this feat? Actually, we're going to watch it on stream so I can show you guys. So let me read this. Bruh, why they disrespect my boy Black like that? I kind of wish they use Heroes Goku Black. I was wondering if echidnas or had no physical like spirit are bounded by dimensions, or are they on higher planes? They are, Karasim. If he has a key shield up, how gonna friction or anything, even the sun gonna kill him? Ryaz, it's not even about the key shield. Even without the key shield, just their general durability. Like when Goku was a kid, he didn't. I mean, ki is the life form in anything, so he doesn't need a key shield for like concrete on the ground. Kid Goku was getting smashed through concrete walls and such, and he was still fine. Kid Goku got hit with a missile that can arguably blow up mountains potentially. So that it's not even a matter of like the key shield. It's just a matter of like how would friction even give enough heat to even hurt him. Remember when Broly dragged Goku's face across the ice and Goku was okay? Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I can't believe this. This is really going. This is happening. All right, so let me read the ending results. We sent so much people to the sun. Why? What's with the sun? What's with the sun? Yeah, fairly tricky matchup to figure out. Let's hear what the explanation is. For the credible levels of power, okay? Wait, he said Goku Black could destroy a universe at least 666 times over? What? That's quick maths. No, for real. What? I guess he's going with the 13 times bigger than our universe times the 50 times multiplier. But that doesn't make any sense, because if anyone has read the manga, they would know. That doesn't make any sense at all. Hold on. Let me do this for a moment. I want you guys to see this part. This is ridiculous. I want you guys to read with me. All right. Pay attention here. Follow my mouse and the cursor. Vegeta eats a sensu here. Okay? So Vegeta eats a sensu. Powers back up. Charges in. They go relatively even. Boom, boom. Gut checks Vegeta. Vegeta's like, whatever. Then it's like, oh, it's probably no longer possible for him to Goku power from the ability. This got debunked. This got retcon. This is just Trunks' surmise. Because we already know that happened in the Tournament of Power, and it happened in the Moral Arc, and it happened with Granola. So, yes, they do get stronger. When he says, Vegeta, your level is quite suitable for increasing my strength. So, Goku Black gets healed again. Alright. So, remember, even before this, he was giving Vegeta a run for his money. He was still bleeding. So he's about even, almost. This is regular Super Saiyan. This is not Super Saiyan 2. This is regular Super Saiyan, not 2. This is grade 4, full power Super Saiyan. Here's what happens. I have now reached a whole new level. You mortals have no way of saving yourself. What's he on about? Powers up. Pink. What's with that hair color? This is amazing. Now read this. Let me read this out loud. So when a deity surpass the Super Saiyan God, instead of blue hair, his hair turns light crimson. This is the Super Saiyan Blue equivalent. So if they're going to use the manga and the anime, because, look, I don't even care at this point. You guys can get mad at me. Whatever, YouTube. I don't care. I'm not showing anything. But look, if they're going to use anime and they use components from the manga, why? And yes, if you look here, they're using manga components. So if we're allowed to use manga and anime components, why? That's the question I have. That's the ultimate question. Why? 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 That's the question. We're using anime components. Why? That's all I gotta know. Just tell me why. Tell me why. Ain't nothing. No, let me stop. But we're for real. Why? It's clear. So, why would you assert that? I'm going to go with the lowest level multiplier possible for the whole Super Saiyan, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We're going to paint it like this. I'm not going to use grade 4. I'm not going to acknowledge Super Saiyan grade 2, even though it's faster and stronger, or Super Saiyan grade 3 or grade 4, even though grade 4 is objectively stronger as a multiplier because, you know, the Kalate Palsu thing. If you guys remember Kaltopesa, Vegeta fought him. And he was like, oh, my battle power is 300 times stronger. And I can move 300 times faster. This thing. Hold on. Remove this. So, yeah. Move that. Yeah. This is Counterplacer. Vegeta just went Super Saiyan to match his strength. So that shows full power Super Saiyan is on a whole nother level. And they even imply it in the new data book. So I don't even need to go into that. But my thing is this. I'm going to keep it very, very cookie cutter simple. Here we go. Here's all the forms. And we're going to keep this simple. The only form we're going to ignore is yeah, we're going to use these. I'm going to keep it very simple. Very, very simple, guys. I'm going to use the super exciting guides for my reference and using Herms, okay? So pay attention. All right, hold on. Super Saiyan 1 is 50 times. Super Saiyan 2 is 100 times base because it is 2 times off of Super Saiyan 1. Super Saiyan 3 is 4 times stronger than Super Saiyan 2, so it's 400 times base. Super Saiyan God, we don't know what the multiplier is, right? But we do know this. We do know this. This bad boy right here. And let me get a good image of him. Let me get an image. And you guys already know where I'm going with this. This guy right here is stronger than Super Saiyan 3, but weaker than Super Saiyan God. And then manga implies it too. And we're not talking about regular. We're talking about Super Vegito. So, even with Super Vegito, who is stronger than Super Saiyan 3, we have to estimate it. So, let's say base form Vegito is only 2 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3. So, that would make him 800 times base. 800 times 50 for main Vegito. Where would that put him at? All right. So, you do 800 times 50. And then you get a rough estimate of about 40,000. Let's say Super Saiyan God is around the same tier or only slightly stronger. How much stronger? Who cares? I'm just going to, for the sake of making this a low ball, I'm just going to make Super Saiyan God 1% stronger. So 400. This is such a stupid number, but 40,400 times stronger in base. Then we just go by 50 times over. Now, what is Super Saiyan Blue? Super Saiyan Blue is 50 times over that. So what's Super Saiyan Blue? Just going off of the very basic notion, this becomes 2,020,000 times base. I did not factor in no Kaioken times 10 at all. I didn't use that. I just simply acknowledged this and this only. So at the bare minimum, how many universes could he destroy over if we use Death Battles' goofy logic? This many. Are you freaking kidding me? And keep in mind, it's actually technically on a complex multiverse level because obviously Goku Black is beyond, destroying Universe 7 at that point, since he scales not too different from Infinite Zamasu in terms of like raw strength and his ability. So, I mean, even just being able to do what he did to the neutral zone and any character who scales relative to him, because remember, Goku said, remember what Goku said? Goku was like, yo, if only I had a sensu bean. Right here. If only I had one more sensu bean. Because remember, Goku and Vegeta were completely drained. So what the heck are they going to do against this type of Zamasu? It's like, oh, Goku was just overconfident. I don't think he could beat him. Like, do you honestly think it's Goku, for crying out loud? Oh boy, man, this is exhausting. The infinite mass punch is stated consistently to have infinite mass, and it has those feats like Flash harming Darkseid and even killing Anti-Monitor, both who have casual multi feats. Same. Flash scaling to reverse. Isn't infinite mass like infinite power? So AP should be universal. Yeah, but the thing about it, Karasim and Snow Forest, it's different. It's difficult to quantify. It's the infinite mass punch is more of a. It's just inconsistency with DC, to be honest with you. Because if you've read the comics, Flash has more impressive feats. The infinite mass punch. They say it has the power of a white dwarf star. It's just hyperbole, kind of low key. It's kind of like how they said they destroy. It's kind of like Superboy, where what's his name? I believe it was Morphin. I think it was, or I forgot who it was. Superboy fought someone. I think it was Morkan or Monarch. Yeah, that's his name. It was Monarch. Superboy fought Monarch, and it destroyed the universe, but the thing was, Monarch blew up on a quantum level. So on a quantum level, which is higher dimensional in DC, that was more of a a low-key multiverse type of attack to a degree. The thing is, though, even if you had low multiverse attack potency, it's not enough to hurt Goku Black. Because base form Goku can already destroy the afterlife, which is a higher dimension beyond the living world, which is beyond the hyperspace, which is beyond the other low temporal realms of the living world. So based on just how Dragon Ball Super's universe is constructed, my main problem is that's not enough power. It's not enough power. So he doesn't have the physicals to beat him. Now, I understand the whole threaten the DC multiverse, but the thing is, threaten DC multiverse is usually a statement they make about doing it over time, because even Superboy with the Guardian Amp was implying it would, he would search for the perfect universe, even if he had to destroy the whole multiverse or rip it apart. But the thing is, Superboy had to go piece by piece, had to take over time. Now, obviously, with the Guardian Amp, Superboy threatening a monitor, he has to be able to do to the multiverse, obviously. And going to the Speed Force, which exists outside the DC's multiverse, you would think that it gives them that level of AP, but no. They have more so what we call multiverse level hacks, but not really necessarily the same type. Because remember, the Speed Force is not something they can carry over to Dragon Ball Super, because it doesn't exist. And in Dragon Ball Super, if they fight in DC, do you honestly think Goku Black can't access the Speed Force, hypothetically? So we have to take this battle in a neutral zone, or a neutral place. I do like how they had Goku Black kind of enter into the time traveling segment with him. That was interesting. But the thing is, removing the time ring, first and foremost, even if catching Goku Black off guard ain't going to do nothing to him really at all. Because he always has his ki up. He's not like Goku who's always relaxed. So even if you hit him, you're not doing anything. Flash, even with the Speed Force, which is beyond Hyper Time, which is 5D, when it absorbs, is still getting tagged by Reverse Flash. Well, you see Snow Force, and to be honest with you, the Speed Force is greater than 5D in DC, the way they describe it. Because you have something called the Metaverse. The Metaverse, I think I read it on the last stream, has something to do with how the universe creates a new instant level of infinities. Every instant is a new subset of infinities for each individual 52 universe. So if each 52 universe has infinite parallels to it, you more so have 52 six-dimensional worlds. You more so have 52 low complex multiverses, and the Hyper Time and the Speed Force exist outside of that. So the Speed Force is more of a mid-complex multiverse construct. The problem with that is that it's not consistently scalable to Flash in most components, because Flash is not someone who can, apply that to all subsequent levels of his durability and his attack potency. That's why he gets his ASS whooped by a lot of other characters. So again, it's like if I said, Goku has the power of this and that and this, and then he just gets slapped by Krillin in the next arc, or not Goku. It's like if I said, Yamcha can intercept interstellar speeds and infinite dimensional speeds, and not infinite dimensional, but Yamcha can destroy the multiverse and do all of this, and you're like, Can Yamcha really do that? It's like, yeah, he can. But then you see Yamcha lose to characters who are literally stated to be much less. And you're like, is Yamcha at that level, or does he just have the hacks? You see, it's kind of like the phenomenon with Kaguya. You know how people tell you Kaguya isn't solar system level? Why? Because it's just hacks. The difference is Kaguya, she actually made space-time. Flash, he didn't make that stuff. He's borrowing it and using it and absorbing it and utilizing it in terms of levels of speed, and he can apply that to his durability or attack potency. And of course, the acausality of it allows him to live and reincarnate himself into different variants, etc., etc., etc. It's a very confusing compilation of information. My only problem with it is that it's very hard to quantify how this battle would technically turn out, because Goku Black has more than enough power to kill Reverse Flash. More than enough. And I'm not even trying to highball or wank or anything. Literally just a flick from Goku Black is enough to blow every atom of his body and quantum atom into smithereens. Do you know how much force it takes to destroy 2 entirely different universes, let alone destroying one universe that is infinite with subsequent subset temporals like the Room of Spirit and Time, the hyperspace or Dead Zone, the Demon World, and many others. And then you factor in there's an afterlife that transcends dimensions that are below the human world, that are invisible in the human world. So when you factor that in, it's like, well, he transcends that. And yes, the reason I'm using the Dead Zone from Garlic Jr. is because Screw Attack decided they wanted to somewhat composite everything. So I'm going to use the Garlic Jr. components, especially since it was in a Daizenshu. It still could technically exist, whatever. I'm not crying about it, but I'm just giving an example. So just the nature of the afterlife itself is already beyond, is already at the high multiverse levels. The problem is that Reverse Flash, if we assert he has the same level of attack potency to just one-shot the entirety of the DC multiverse, that's making a very bold assumption, and that's something I just can't sit around and agree with. I don't even agree with Cosmic Armor being at this whole hyperverse level most of the time. And I've read Grant Morrison's works for Animal Man and the Pax Americana Multiversity and his other works, and it's really good. And I do think Cosmic Armor has a multi-interpretational type of power because it's Grant Morrison behind the writing. But when it comes to the Flash, it's not that simple, I feel. Yeah. Let me see here. Death Battle doesn't even acknowledge the fact that DB Universe infinite size along with Hell and Heaven and Kaishin Realm. Alright, Sonny D, if you want to know who won, you can probably guess, but you're not going to be happy. Let me see, Snow Forest. I meant Hyper Time is like 5D for containing infinite DC Universe. The DC Universe each being like infinite. Or the thing is, see, you know what's funny? So, what's funny about that Snow Forest is, you see, DC's, and I don't know if the Speed Force is beyond Hyper Time. They give an implication it is, but then they also imply that all of existence and all metaverses exist in there. And here's the thing about it, Snow Force. DC's universe isn't infinite, though, because they have an edge. It's not like they have an observable universe like how Dragon Ball does, where you can kind of make the argument. You know how, like I told you before, on page... You guys remember before... In the Daizenshu, I told you before, I said on page 54 and 18, the whole infinitely expanding can be easily explained if we just assert it's talking about the observable universe. Certainly. That checks out as a rhetoric. That is a consistent argument. There's no contradictory evidence. And then especially when you include the fact that the infinite space segment on pages 17 or 19, I should say, on pages 19 and including on Daizenshu 7, pages 44, include that it's infinite space, but the part where everyone lives at is infinitely expanding. So it's like the whole hypothetical when you leave outside the observable universe, it gets to infinity. Yeah, DC doesn't really follow that. Or they do and they don't. You have so many inconsistencies if they do. I'm going to assume it does, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to say it does, because you can't race to the end of the universe. Unless they mean the end of the observable universe. It's so difficult to make any sense of that, because a lot of the concepts are not understanding the true definition of what infinity is. Especially because most people try to treat infinity like it's monolithical, and it's not. And monolithical just means like it's the absolute. So in reality, I'll explain it like this. Every 52 universe in DC, every single individual universe has at least an infinite subset of parallels. If you have a bunch of infinite parallels, that's 5D. So let's say you go to Earth 4. It has a bunch of different infinite parallel variants of it. So that's 5D Earth 4. Then we go to, Earth blah, blah, blah. All of these 5D worlds sit in a bubble of the DC multiverse that contains them. So actually, no, it's more so high multiverse plus or whatever plus. It's not 6-dimensional. I take that back. The reason it's not 6-dimensional technically is because it doesn't bypass that, but the concept of the whole metaverse, which is a subset of infinities that repeat new infinities every instant, could be at that level. So the Speed Force could be at least low complex to mid complex multiversal, going off of just those notions alone. Obviously, the Speed Force is more of a temporal realm. It's like a secondary or a third or tertiary or like a third level of temporality, which is just on a whole different level. So it's really hard because to quantify, because the Speed Force is kind of linked to everything in reality. So its limitations are based on the user. It's so complex and difficult to explain this too. Exactly, Riaz. It actually explains that too. So Riaz Sage is right. Yakon does come from a portion of the universe where light does not reach. It's even stated in Daizenshu. Let me see. Daizenshu Yakon. Like, everything in the Daizenshu matches up as long as you read the whole thing. Most people don't read. That's a problem with you. People don't like to read. Let me see here. Alright, so let's see where I can find Yakon's statement. Because he's supposed to come from the end of the universe. I mean, not the end of the universe, a place where light doesn't reach. But basically, yeah, the unobserved universe is the best way to put it. So let me see here. All right, so I'm not gonna be able to find it immediately. I gotta find the scan again. But I'm just gonna put it this way: the unobserved universe is the best way to put it. I wasn't surprised that Goku Black lost because it's like another Goku to crap on. Then again, not much of a super fan, but still. I mean, Mr. Hazama. It's to be expected. DC kind of has like a bunch of like over the top writing that makes it confusing. But let me finish up this death battle analysis, because they finished the death battle. I just got to see what their thoughts are afterwards. Hold on. Incredible level pop. Black could destroy a universe like ours. 660 times over. A punch at least moving as big as a star. It's really bad. That's in another league. There's a lot more to cover than how many stars a universe they can blow up, okay? Both impressive. They were removed from time itself. Living paradox. Making any attempt to kill either of them. Who would feel their counterpart to this temporal invincible? Well, here's the problem. So based on this part, that's false. Goku Black would actually based on that part, Goku Black would actually kill the Reverse Flash before he even tries to escape into somewhere else temporarily. Because the Reverse Flash is not going to... Yo, god dang, this guy hits hard. It's like, oh, Reverse Flash can vibrate his molecules to phase through things. How are you going to phase to an interdimensional ki attack that attacks astral beings? Like, remember, these ki attacks attack the afterlife. You're not. It's not going to be that as simple as phasing through it. Not usually. That's why in Dragon Ball Super, most characters, they don't really phase to ki. They just kind of create an after image of anything at all. Even Hit, when Dispo punched Hit, it's not hit. Oh, I vibrated so fast that you can't. No, Hit's in a different, temporal. Hit's in a completely different spatial area, a spatial dimension. That's why Dispo couldn't even physically touch him. He was intangible. The thing is, characters like Goku and many others can touch Hit. And so can Goku Black, because Goku Black can actually shatter time, space-time, like Goku can, because he scales to him. Speed and smarts. And speed goes, Thon had the edge. I would say Thon has the edge in terms of being able to escape with temporality, yeah. I would say so. Though I would say Flash's speed is inconsistent. Because there are some points where he has a finite level of speed and other points where he doesn't have a finite level. Most of the time, it seems like he doesn't have a finite level. But remember my last time we talked about immeasurable speed? Again, a Goku Black can move, let's say, whatever trillions of times, whatever, blah, 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 light, and Flash can go a billion times faster than light, canonically. All right, they both leave outside of time. Goku Black still has the advantage. The only time Flash will have the advantage is if he moves in a different range of motion, aka a higher spatial or temporal dimension to where he can gain the advantage. That would probably be about it. I would say based on the occurrences of Reverse Flash, even I have to admit he has an advantage there. Quintillions of times faster than light. No, Black's, again, it reached infinite speed because it bypassed dimensional spatial walls. That's why it reached the afterlife. In a fraction of a second, so infinitesimal small, no word exists to describe it. I'm leaving the recognition of space-time continuum and approaching trans-time velocity. Okay, so mini iteration. I mean, all they're saying is, oh, wow, this guy's so fast that he bypassed the speed of light, and we're just using a bunch of big buzzwords to make it sound like it's super duper duper ultra mega super fast. Now, don't get me wrong. The Flash is that fast, but once you've already bypassed the speed of light in certain fictions, it's about how the speed behaves. So, for example, in Cyborg 009, Joshi Mamora doesn't even move at light speed for real. Or, well, he does, but he doesn't go that much faster than light speed. But it's just due to what relativity does to him, because they believe in relativity. Joe is able to contain so much frictional power. If he even touches you, you obliterate every single molecule in your body. He got stuck in frozen time for 30 days. Francois, she was blinking, and he was like, what's going on? It took a month. So it's hard to really quantify how the speeds would interchange with them, especially because Dragon Ball speed doesn't guarantee you time travel in Dragon Ball. It doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't know why, but that's just how Dragon Ball's reality and laws work. So again, it's very difficult to see how this battle would turn out. So I would just say Flash just has good speed hacks. But to say who has the speed advantage, it's hard to say, because in DC, when you go a certain level of speed, you bypass time. Even the immortality of fused Zamasu would have difficulty surviving a battle with Reverse Flash, as Dawn is capable of destroying entire timelines, somewhat similar to Zeno. Yeah, but the difference is the timeline in DB is completely different from the timeline in DC. You see, a timeline in Dragon Ball is more of a it's like similar to Hyper Time, because the timeline contains the Xeno world, the neutral zone, and the neutral zone contains the universes, which the universes contain the transcending afterlife. See, look at me saying transcending, but it's the afterlife that transcends the lower temporal realms in the living world that is already infinite and has even higher spatial realms like the dead zone. So if we're talking about higher dimensional complexities, then yeah, Infinite Zamasu wasn't just a simple 4D timeline feat. So no, not at all. I have brought you 100 trillion light years, Superman, to understand that necessity. So over 1 billion times bigger than our universe. So that's still finite. What the holy monkey balls? That's finite, guys. Look, I'm not here to like. I've already done like an example of why I think even Superboy would beat someone like Ultra Ego Vegeta potentially, if we don't composite the anime, of course. Yeah. I'm not like I'm not even trying to say I'm biased. I'm not biased towards DBZ over DC. I've even admitted that someone like Superboy Prime can take on Wagamama, no, Goku even. Let me just say Ultra Ego instead of his Japanese name. He could take him on. But to see this scan, this bothers me. This bothers me. This is a finite number. This is what I'm talking about. DC writers are inconsistent. Or DC as a whole is inconsistent because of writers. So in other words, DC as a whole is only confusing because you got so many goddamn writers writing this stuff. You get terms like, oh, I get finite numbers and all this stuff. It's crazy. $70 million times bigger than Dragon Ball Z Universe 7. Here's the other question. You're gonna talk about Infinite Zamasu, or yeah, because they called them it. They said Immortality of Fuse Zamasu or whatever. Here's the thing, which I don't see why you didn't let Fuse Zamasu fight in this, technically, since they're both the same people. But that's okay. Even if you ignore this, let me show you this. Here's the one thing they ignore. They ignore this one thing. And you know what that is, guys? The neutral zone. If you're going to sit there and just talk about how it's so small, first, you didn't even include the neutral zone, which dwarfs this. Completely dwarfs this. And then you have the Xeno world, which treats them like chess pieces. And Xeno has galaxies in the background. So if you compare a chess piece to the size of a galaxy, my gosh, you're talking about undecillions of times bigger than a universe. And Xeno has an infinite size realm by axiomatically. So I don't know. This is just what happens when you don't do your research. It's hard to find the limits of Goku's black strength without getting into a lot of assumptions and guesswork. It's literally stated to have no limit. Whatever it is, it will adapt to the power of the opponent, as long as he can just heal. The DC universe is stated to expand 60 trillion light years per half second and has multiple spatial dimensions. That's true. While Goku Black is likely hundreds, if not thousands of times more powerful than Goku was during the Battle of Gods, actually more so millions of times, but you get it. It's difficult to argue that even Fuse Zamasu could reach such levels. What? This is a bunch of all right, so the thing is, let's take the screen down for a moment. You see, here's the thing, fellas. I'm gonna give you the verdict based on what I'm seeing. Screw Attack is more so just utilizing universe sizes to give argumentation and back up their statements. Any DC fan who is at least willing enough to admit that the preponderance of evidence of what DC has presented is not going to be enough to support that any of these characters, like Wally West, Barry Allen, or even Reverse Flash, is going to have enough to be able to destroy the entire infinite size of the universe. Causing spatial anomalies is no different from, I'm going to give you guys an example, causing spatial and temporal anomalies is no different from another guy who could do the same thing and destroy timelines. And do you not know who I'm going to bring up? You probably guessed it, but he's from an anime that I haven't even done power scaling on in some time. Katekyo Hitman Reborn. I made a mistake of this before, and I'm going to admit I made a mistake and overwanked this guy using the same goofy arguments. Byakuran. Byakuran can literally destroy parallel worlds by causing anomalies. Okay? He could literally cause anomalies and destroy parallel worlds. How? I don't know. Do I look like Byakuran to you? I'm just saying he can. Not that he should, or whatever else you want to argue. I'm just simply saying Byakuran has the power and abilities to destroy parallel worlds. Alright? Let me give you an example. Here's a scan, straight from the comic. Let's read it. Basically, you're saying that all kinds of different possible worlds actually exist at the same time. That's right, as many worlds as there are possibilities. But there are an awful lot of possibilities in the world. That's right. So all the countless branches would theoretically create countless different parallel worlds. All right? And yet Byakuran can be linked with almost all his parallel potential possibilities. But that doesn't mean, and he can even cause destruction to them by causing paradoxal anomalies. But causing paradoxal anomalies is not the same as raw physical strength. Remember that. That's what I got called out on. And I'm glad I did, because it helped me become a better rational thinker when it comes to these. So the whole notion is the Reverse Flash is not weak, is not fodder at all. Don't get me wrong. And he can very likely beat Goku Black if to play the cards right. But Screw Attack's exampling and reasoning is ad hoc and very inconsistent. They're not accounting for the inconsistencies of DC. They're not accounting the idea that speed doesn't necessarily equate to punching or striking strength, because he doesn't have the striking strength. Carrying the speed force in himself is not something that could be quantified as an attack. So again, keep that in mind. Oh boy. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading off to the chat, because now I'm looking at this. The DC universe is too big. Almost ripped the DC multiverse. Okay. Okay. An average Saiyan lifespan is closer or slightly longer than a human's, though their bodies do not decay. In fact, Saiyan can remain at peak. Let's see here. Okay, ridiculous hacks. All right, let me give a comment. I'm gonna put good animation. Like always, I just wish the researchers were people like SSJ Ryu, Seth the Programmer, myself, or even Saiyan Scholar. I don't care if Saiyan Scholar will deny it. Just give somebody. Oh, man. The edge of the universe and center of the universe. are confirmed to be the observable universe in Daizenshu 4, pages 18 and 54, in contrast to infinite space in page 17 and Daizenshu 7, page 44. I think it's segment 2. So, yeah. Not to mention the afterlife transcends. In the human world and isn't called temporal by neither Goku (1998) Adventure Guide nor even. But yep, all right, so there we go. I left a comment. Good fight. All right, there we go. So there we go. Let me go ahead and read the comments now. So my verdict: is the battle accurate? My ultimate answer to all of you guys is, well, how do I say? Here's the ultimate answer to you guys. Is this battle accurate? You guys want to know the truth? The answer is a good old whopping, well, you know, no. And in case you guys can't see it, let me just expand it for you. No. All right. So there you go. It's not accurate. As far as DBZ's side, DC is kind of accurate, but also not. DC is actually a lot larger than they kind of gave it credit for. So they even kind of lowballed the Reverse Flash in terms of how impressive his reset abilities are. But I think they also overblown him because it's like more of the high-end feats, which is fine, but the consistency of DC makes it very, very, very difficult. Okay. All right. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's see here. Let's read the comments, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and read the comments of the chat. Let's see here. I was surprised Goku Black lost. Also, while I can't stand the Dragon Ball community been so toxic and wanks and downplayed, Marvel and DC are no different either. Well, Mr. Hazama, if you want the honest truth, Mr. Hazama, off of that, I understand I'm reading kind of late on the chat, but Mr. Hazama, to answer your question, DC and Marvel has actually attacked Dragon Ball more. At least for the Comic Vine and Google, for the Comic Vine versus Battle Wiki community and the Google Plus community. They have attacked us a lot. So they've always attacked Dragon Ball fans. I don't know why particularly. Maybe it's because Dragon Ball fans make the assertion he can't beat Goku though. You know, but that's nothing. They've actually been worse. And the only reason they're worse is because they don't educate themselves on Dragon Ball. They just the problem I have with DC and Marvel fans, most of them, is they either A, they overblow DC and Marvel for what they really are, and B, they downplay Dragon Ball far too much, and they act like they know when they don't. They have not read the Daizenshu. They do not know how big Universe 7 is. They just go off the show, which is fine, but if you're not going off the background information or the interviews, you're never going to have an answer. So again, they try to create these false dilemmas off those answers. It's like the Yu Yu Hakusho phenomenon. Remember, people will say Yusuke isn't this or that because he has no feats. And it's like, well, look at the statements and the author's intent and the implication. You know? Let's see here. Moving on. I feel like most of DC's characters scale through cosmology. yeah, most of the characters do scale to a level of the cosmology that they can destroy, but at the same time, Harrison, DC follows like real life phenomena. So it's kind of like, although they follow like certain aspects of real science, they end up nerfing themselves as a result. So it's not like something as simple as, I'm gonna just punch the macrocosm like Goku can, and that's it. There's his AP. Whereas in DC, it's more complicated, and that's not a bad thing. DC has some beautiful artwork and beautiful components in their storytelling, but it's not always consistent. And I think they get rid of consistency because they want to just add more stakes to the battle. They got to say, oh, the multiverse is at threat. Pretty much Superman has a multiversal threat, Flash, multiversal threat, at some point Martian Manhunter, multiversal threat, Diana or Wonder Woman, I think she's even fighting Batman Who Laughs. I think she's even fighting him on a higher dimensional level. There's a golden version of her in the more recent what's going on. So I could be wrong. But if I recall, it was like a golden variant of Wonder Woman or Diana. So I'm like, is she even herself is like at a complex multiverse level? So it's like they're always scaling their characters to super high heights. I personally say Superman has been more consistent than Flash has, in my opinion, as far as like raw power goes. Speed, Flash has been consistently outrunning time, causing spatial anomalies, sure, and temporal anomalies. But Superman, I could say he's consistently been at the level, because in Final Crisis, he's consistently been at some level of like 4D. So I wouldn't say like Final Crisis Superman is a monster. He's crazy. The fact he can exist outside of time or even travel through the bleed goes to show like this dude has really upgraded himself, really. And the same thing with Superboy Prime, whether it's the Guardian Amp or even the solar armor, he's still at a whole nother level, you know what I mean? But anyway, Kakarot's body snatcher is pretty susceptible to not knowing how to be a mortal body for some reason. Yeah, that's kind of true. How much universe can Goku destroy? Michael Braxton, I think I talked about this earlier, but like on the equivalent is about 2,026,000 on a low end. Now, obviously, Super Saiyan God is something that transcends. And to be honest with you, if you want to know the real answer to that, arbitrary numbers aren't going to give you that answer. So remember, Goku's base form can probably destroy, as much as can probably destroy like billions of universes. I mean, not billions, like hundreds of universes. And Goku Black going into Rose should be able to destroy billions of them by the scaling. But the thing is, that's just that scaling. That's screw attack scaling. And remember, they said it's 13 times bigger. I already did my own scale, and I showed that it's actually 23. I actually did the formula earlier on the stream. But regardless of that, that's besides the point, bro. My whole problem with them is that they mistake that Dragon Ball's universe is infinite. And so is the afterlife. It transcends the infinite universe. And then the neutral zone contains that, all eclipses that. So as far as cosmology goes, no, despite all the... It's like they say, less is more. Okay? Sometimes more is less and less is more. DC adds all these phenomena, all these buzzwords, all these things. And that doesn't mean they don't have a very complex universe. They do, because it's been around for like 50 plus more years than Dragon Ball. Probably 70 plus more years than Dragon Ball, if I recall. Shoot, it's been around. DC has been around for some time. But if we're talking about like raw scaling, I gotta tell you, man, Dragon Ball is, less is more sometimes. Dragon Ball gave us, their examples, but they don't try to go into these spatial anomalies and they're like, oh, well, now it's finite. The universe is finite. Nah, they said it was infinite. It stayed infinite. The observable universe is the part the story takes place in, and Earth is where the main story resides in. That's why characters can take over the center of the universe, take over 70% of the universe and all that, because it's the observable part. But as far as space goes, there's an infinite amount of space. That's also why you can't travel to the afterlife using a ship. So Dragon Ball, fortunately, hasn't written itself into a stupid corner and messed itself up. DC kind of does that. If we ignore those concurrent components of DC, then I would say on a consistent level, Reverse Flash could be universal plus. Maybe even low multiversal. But to say that he's a low complex multiversal on a consistent basis is very difficult to agree with.
I remember how Troll Saint Seiya is, and it can only move at the speed of light stuff while people are flying through black hole. Yeah, that was stupid. Saint Seiya's way faster than that. And I think Trunks' huge rank could be explained with the fact that he's being Akashi and disciplined and gave him God Key. He just accorded at the moment. Also, the fact that he fought Blue Vegeta would probably trick. That's possible. I agree. Headcanon-wise, it's possible. Death Battle and research don't go well together. That's true. So as a final verdict, where do you think Reverse Flash would actually fall in terms of AP? All right, so Jalen Jordan, I think I'd said this already, but I think I'm going to just repeat myself. I think it goes around the time of Universe Plus, the low multiversal, on a consistent basis. On the high end, causing anomalies. Now, if you're talking about how much range does his hacks anomalies have, then I would say on a low complex, a mid-complex multiverse level. So mid-complex multiverse level speed hacks and movement, but his actual AP, like how hard can he punch or hit you, that's only probably in the universal plus ranges to low multiverse ranges. I wouldn't personally go any higher than that. There needs to be more subsequent evidence to prove it. That's why I said more is less and less is more. Dragon Ball has shown lesser feats, but as a result, it shows they have more power because they don't try to overcomplicate it with science or pseudoscience that they do for science fiction. And it's nothing wrong. DC's scientific phenomena are better written in Dragon Ball in some cases. Okay, a lot of cases, but you get the point. With Dragon Ball, it's still well written if you read the Daizenshu and you try to attempt to make a cohesive piece. Cell's not Solar System Buster. Remember that from... oh yeah, that guy. Google Plus. I remember that. If Reverse Flash wasn't Black's opponent, who would be a better, closer matchup? Probably Archie Sonic. But Archie Sonic's too goddamn strong. I would say base form Archie Sonic. Super Sonic is too powerful. He's a-casual. He's on a quantum level. You can't affect him. You can't reverse him. You can't age him. Because Chaos Emeralds bend reality to his will, so he could just make himself immortal. You can't do anything to him, almost. You can't hurt him. Because even though Enerjack had a complex multiverse level of power and range, he couldn't do anything to Supersonic. Supersonic's still stronger than him. And this includes Archie Sonic does use imagination for their higher dimension. So even if you do try to attack him with Mr. Mixie's powers with imagination, Sonic has already bypassed that. So, no. Then again, Archie Sonic might be too much if you let him go super. And that goes to show that they didn't do a good job on Archie Sonic's powers, too. But Dragon Ball, I know for sure. I'd say a good battle for the Reverse Flash, in my opinion, would have been Joshi Mamura. And the only reason why I say that is because even if you turn Joshi Mamura into molecules, he can resurrect and become stronger. And he has psychic abilities and can return you to the point of no return. The event horizon. There's no time to travel back to the future. So Joe would be a pretty interesting battle. I think Reverse Flash would still win, but it would be an interesting battle. But maybe if we composite Joe, because Composite Joe used the theory of relativity by moving so fast, he fused two universes completely into one point. So that's possible. But I think the Reverse Flash is one of those characters where it's hard to really give him a consistent matchup. But yeah. Let me see here. The size of DC's universe is so inconsistent. The freaking Captain Atom said it was like 15,000 times big or something like that. Something that contradicts Infinity. I know, Roz. I go with Infinity because Infinity is more consistent for Infinite Crisis in the main stories of DC, not these side character stories that, to me, just peerless character arcs that don't feel like they're 100% accurately canon, but they are. Do you have a TikTok? Because on that app, Dragon Ball people say DB is universal and Cosmic Armor Superman's boundless. They only say Cosmic Armor Superman's boundless because he can reach outside of the comic book and he goes beyond Limbo, because Limbo looks like just a concept to him, even though that's a concept of memory. Like I said, Cosmic Armor Superman's high complex multiversal depending on how you want to scale him. He's high complex multiversal to hyperversal level, low hyperversal, but low hyperversal is a very hard argument to go for. But again,
it depends. If you go with the high interpretation of Grant Morrison, treating the monitors like authors or writers, you can argue he's low out reversal. But other than that, at a consistent level, Cosmic Armor Superman does get tired. He can bleed. He can lose a battle. He just didn't because he's the story. He's the plot. I don't know. And that whole stupid argument, oh, he's a plot device. I'm like, yeah, plot these nuts. You could plot these nuts in your mouth because clearly speaking, he is not a plot device. Like, that's like saying, oh, Saitama's one punch is a plot device. All right, cool. Goku's Ultra Instinct is a plot device. Ichigo's Mugetsu is a plot device. Like, anything's a plot device for the MacGuffin to progress in the story. It's the main hero. It's like characters, like, I was just doing this in class today. We was talking about Odysseus and the Odyssey. How Odysseus is like the main character. So he fights against the odds. Had one of his other crew members, I think is, what was that name? It was his name. It was like Herca, it was like Galacles. I don't know what the heck his name was. But one of his other crew members, it was one of his other crew members, like Aerocolus or what is it, like Yuri? I think it's like Eurylochus, I think it is, or Eurylochus, whatever. Anyway, Eurylochus, one of Odysseus' second in command, if he went back up into that mountain to challenge her, he would have never talked to Hermes. So the plot device of this poem that Plato wrote, Odysseus gets to speak to Hermes and gets clairvoyance of what's going to happen and how she should treat the situation. Because if he didn't, they all would have turned to pigs and got bodied. But plot. He's a plot device. That's a stupid argument. And I get it. Technically, Final Crisis is all about storybooks and becoming ideas and stories and blah, 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 blah. I get it. They read the Book of Infinite Pages. Mandrake was going to destroy the entire DC multiverse and all of existence, including the Limbo and Monitor Realm. But I don't know if that includes the Source Wall. But regardless, he was going to destroy all of it. And Cosmic Armor Superman came to be with the probe mixed with Quantum Superman. So he's like, yeah, let's do this, bro. And there you go. If Goku was in DC Universe, would he be in the top 100? Yeah. Michael, yeah, he would be. In my opinion, as far as like raw power goes, he would be up there with he'd be up there with Mandrake and like Mr. Mixie. As far as like raw power goes, like attack potency. Well, actually no, I take that back. Nah, Mixie and Mandrake are a little more scary because they can destroy like more temporal realms than Goku could. But as far as like raw attack potency, if I put like Mastered Ultra Instinct, I would say he would scale up there to definitely like top. He'd definitely be in the top hundreds easily. If we're using anime compository Goku, of course. Now, if you said Whis, I think Whis is actually arguably as strong as Mixie. Just no magic. But Whis also is just as strong because Toon Force doesn't work against him if you include the events with Arali. And he could reverse your age, reverse time, accelerate your age, reverse your age, give you life, take away life. He can't be killed by any other means except for he breaks the angel code, because otherwise you can't erase him. Because even if you did erase him, asserting you did, he probably would likely come back out of erasure. Something the Grand Priest can do. And I'm assuming if Whis' statement is there, it must be absolute, considering what the Grand Priest said or did. So I don't think you can simply erase an angel. Even if you stab him, angels, like, I think I told Roz before, like, Miras healed Goku by tapping his finger. And Goku completely healed 100%, including his clothes. So if you hit an angel, they probably will auto-heal. So I don't even think you could just erase them. They might auto-heal. But I don't know. Do you have a blah, blah, blah? Let's see here. Weird question. But what sci-fi civilization do you think could stand a chance to defeat Superman? Probably like Star Wars, because Anakin Skywalker's a beast. But yeah, no, probably Star Wars, because the way the Force works. I would say the Force is a good way of ability that can combat Superman. Depending, and we're not talking about the consistent super. And again, it depends, because there's different variants of Superman. And I don't think I watched God enough high school, unfortunately. Do you believe in that Dragon Ball power hacks equals resistance? Yes, Kings. Yes. And the reason I believe hacks is greater than resistance has to do with two factors. Number one, it's been done so many times, countlessly. And number two, it also depends, though. It also depends. And Goku, is he 2B? Manga Goku is 2B. Anime Goku is 2A to 1C. More consistently 1C. Anime Goku is 1C. But as far as I'm concerned, do you believe that Dragon Ball transcend, let's see here, Dragon Ball power equals hacks equals resistance? So basically, is it if enough power enough to have resistance over hacks? I believe it is. Because look at what happened with Vegito. Got transfigured, had no organs. No organs, still was alive. Bodying Buhan, a universe level, a multiverse level threat. You could destroy the entirety of Universe 7, which has the transcending afterlife, including Garlic Jr.'s hyperspace and all of this stuff. And if Vegeta's just like, yo, bro, you suck. You're getting beat up by me as a coffee-flavored jawbreaker. So yes, I do believe so. I mean, just think about it. Coffee-flavored jawbreaker Super Vegito would literally solo pretty much all of Naruto, all of Bleach, all of Saint Seiya, all of you. Oh, man. And yes, I said Saint Seiya because Saint Seiya is unfortunately over exaggerated a lot. Well, as far as like AP goes, that is. I mean, he. Oh man. All right, people are gonna hate me for saying that, but it's okay. You get the point though. Anyway, I think that should be it. So anyway, that has been the video for today. Oh yeah, Abeloth too. I mean Gandalf too. Gandalf is very, very powerful from Lord of the Rings. So if we use Gandalf at his peak, Gandalf can be in this argument too. Oh, and I know it's not science fiction, but like Aslan from Narnia. Aslan from Narnia made multiple worlds. And he could literally, just him breathing creates a infinite constellation of stars. So no. At least in the original book. So, yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, I would say that power is greater than hacks most of the time. It just depends. Because, like, for example, think of it like this. You could be 100 times faster than Goku and he'll still be able to read where you're going. So, like, what does it matter? That's why I was like, I mean, can he pop up fast enough to hit Goku Black? Because Goku Black will kick the crap out of him before he even pops back up. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts fan, 999. Yeah, it is. Exactly, Roz, yeah, exactly. Aslan is literally supposed to be the embodiment of God himself from Christianity, in a sense, as the lion, like Christ. How they say Christ is like the lion, and Christ came through the lineage of Judah, and Judah is the Lion of Judah. Like if you dig deeper into it, so Aslan, and based on what I've read, there was like a bunch of other different mountains that represent different worlds, or endless mountain of worlds, and so Aslan could literally create, like I don't even know how to describe it. Aslan is literally like on a whole nother level. Obviously, at least Aslan is at least 2C, 2C. And I'm talking upper 2C, not low 2C, where he's Universe Plus. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Michael. I don't know the Upside Down Man 100% well enough to really give a clear-cut answer. But I'm going to say this. It was a good battle. It was good. As far as animation goes. But my opinion overall could have been better. The research could have been better at it. But as a result, everything's going to be different for everyone else. I think Screw Attack didn't do terrible. I just think they need to do better research next time. Because they're still sticking with their formula. I mean, here's the main problem with Screw Attack. If they believe Universe 7 is only 9 times bigger
than a normal universe, which I proved on stream. If you guys don't believe me, go back in an earlier stream. I pixel scaled Universe 7 myself and proved it was 23 times bigger than, you know, what they claimed it was. I didn't even include the space between the afterlife. I mean, the space between universes, such as the space between the Kaioshin realm. I just did the afterlife itself because heaven is the size of the universe. And yet these goofballs want to make that stupid statement. Even if we ignore Dragon Ball's universe from being infinite, it still should have been much, much, much bigger. And I guess they ignored the scan where it's infinitely expanding. So it's so stupid for them to assert that. Oh, and I think the worst part of all of that, I think the worst part about all of this is that they still didn't acknowledge the Goku versus Superman video where they purposely gave Goku they gave Goku the wrong numbers. Seth and Chuck did a video on that, and I think they did a good job calling it out. I mean, it'd been called out prior, but the fact that they put it on the big screen, they got millions of views. It goes to show that was very important because, like, it's like, dude, these bozos literally said, well, Super Saiyan 2 is the same strength as base form Goku. I'm like, what? So Goku gets half as weak when so he gets 50 times weak? What the heck are you guys doing? You guys crackheads? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, they use Xenoverse Android 18. Bro, Xenoverse Android 18 will oh, my gosh. If we're using Xenoverse Android 18, she will one-shot Reverse Flash and Goku Black at the same time. No, even Krillin will one-shot them from Xenoverse, if you want to go there. So, oh yeah, don't get me started on Xenoverse. The stupidity on how big Dragon Ball's cosmology is for Xenoverse, ridiculous. Just because Dragon Ball uses more so mysticism and Yama Buddhism to explain their cosmology doesn't mean it's any wrong. But you know, you got people who don't research Dragon Ball. DC and Marvel have their entire fan base, Roz, where they're always dedicated to finding out new information for DC, and I commend them for that, and I love DC myself in a good degree. But for y'all to just like sit there and not do any research or read any of the Daizenshuu, A, the Daizenshuu is in Japanese, so it's not going to be read by most of the people, and B, nobody wants to learn a new language because it's too much trouble just to read a little manga panel. And last but not least, C, it just is that bias could also be the factor. But yeah, Toriko versus Saint Seiya one day, I mean, that's possible. Toriko, I mean, maybe if we had Midora, I think Midora could stand a chance against Seiya. Because that minority world, oh man, that doesn't play any games. Yeah, any Xenoverse character should pretty much solo. I think at least Reverse Flash and Holy Black. Holy Black. Raya Sage, I don't, but I think I will make a video on it soon. Talking about it. Oh yeah, Death Battle said guides aren't valid, but guides aren't valid. So what about that Goku vs Superman video where you said power levels are useless because you used a fans statement? We're gonna ignore. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that. Anyone who says guides are useless, their whole argument becomes useless. Because when you say guides are useless, that's like me saying, hey, Grant Morrison, is Superman cosmic armor like omnipotent? And he'd say, oh, heavens no. But he's a very strong variant of the monitors, which act so much as like writers to the greater DC lower verse. Are they like this infinitely spatial aware people? I wouldn't say infinite, but I'd say they definitely have a higher level. Like Grant Morrison could say all of that and people, well, that's not valid. It's an interview, man. You can go up to Toriyama. Toriyama, if Goku had an infinite number of universes in his face and he did his strongest Kamehameha with the intent to kill, can he destroy all of it? You say, well, Goku would never do that. But in theory, he probably could. What if Goku used the Mastered Ultra Instinct? What if there was an infinite number of universes and a ball, and then there was an infinite number of those balls spread out. Could Goku destroy that potentially and Mastered Ultra Instinct? Toriyama would be like, I don't see why not. Mastered Ultra Instinct isn't really limited by universes and power. The thing is, though, he needs proper ki control so that things like that don't happen. But to answer your question, yes, if he had if he was lined up in front of him, he could. So Toriyama can literally agree with this, and there'll be people like, Toriyama's senile, man. He doesn't even remember who Yamcha is, man. Like, shut up. He's the one writing Super. He just makes basic guidelines. And your point, he still made one of the greatest and most inspirational series of all time. If not for him, Bleach wouldn't even be a thing because he's the one who told Kubo to keep going and never give up. So shut up with that. That's so stupid. I hate that argument so much. Ugh. Toriko with his white demon is insane, bro. I mean, remember at the end of Toriko... Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Skip this part if you don't want to be spoiled. Like a whole minute ahead or something. Or whatever. Anyway, Toriko at the end... Like, we're talking about the end of the manga panel. You got solar system sized snakes, bro. And Toriyama's like, Toriko's like, yo, let's square up with these things, bro. Like, you got this solar system sized snake that has more attack potency than like an entire planet. And Toriyama's like, yo, you want to square up with this, bro? Why would you want to square up with a solar system sized snake? That don't make no sense. Toriko's a monster, bro. Cell will do his solar Kamehameha. Toriko will be like, ooh, food. I'm not even trying to like wank Toriko, but Toriko will literally eat Cell's Kamehameha and think it's like a long Twizzler or something like that. He'll think it's a long Twizzler. And not to mention, we have speed feats. My boy Jadara back in the day, we had a speed feat where we proved that Midora and some of the Toriko characters can scale arguably to thousands or trillions of times the speed of light. So don't sleep on Toriko. Especially, I think that other character, Jada, oh, I forgot the character's name. But I remember Midora fought them. I think it was like 0.0001 second. And he took his sweet time to kill them 8 times in a row. Like, what? You took your time? Yeah, it's like watching a Godfather for him. That's how slow he was moving. So, anyway. Just out of pure speculation, how strong do you think Goku will be by the end of Super? Go crazy. Honestly, Ariel, depending on where they go with the story, I think because the way Toyotaro is a type of writer where he wants things to be realistic, but he also is the type of writer where he's inspired by DC and Marvel. So later on, we are going to start going into interdimensional, higher dimensional stuff, I'm sure. Toyotaro is going to introduce like high dimensional consciousness and probably concepts. And he probably will have someone like Goku by the end of Super have a fight with a multiverse level being or like a resurrected god of destruction or a fallen angel or something crazy like that. Like, for example, let's say like universe, they bring back all 6 of the universes erased by Zeno. And all 6 angels come with them. And each angel uses the Super Dragon Balls to unbound themselves by the Grand Priest. So the Grand Priest doesn't just erase them out of existence. So they can use their power. Goku's going to fight the fallen angel. And Vegeta's going to fight the god of destruction. That's probably what's going to happen. Maybe. If they did do something like that. And my assertion is they would probably have a battle that would shake the multiverse. Or it would threaten all of history and time. Just like in DBZ Xenoverse. Or it threaten all of the fabric of creation, they'll probably say. And they probably say a shockwave not only exceeded all 12 universes, but exceeded the timeline and all infinite timelines and every reality outside of that infinity. Something like that. They might do something crazy like that. So in my opinion, I think I think he's going to at least be Hyperverse level. That's my guess for End of Z Goku. Jiro literally stopped time with pressure points. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Do you think Xenogoku can defeat a Celestial? Absolutely. Michael, absolutely. Xenogoku will have fun with a Celestial. He'll fight them and be like, hey, you're pretty strong. I can bend the concept of death. That's pretty interesting. Well, I don't exist in time, so I don't really die. So let's go ahead and fight.
Like, you honestly think Xenogoku is scared of that? He fought Demigra. Demigra controls death and life and can resurrect at any time. Towa resurrected herself off the concept of hatred. You think Xenogoku's scared of fighting a Celestial? Especially since Demigra's like, I'm going to destroy not only the living world, which contains... And keep in mind, oh my god, I can't wait to do a Xenoverse. You know, I'm going to do a Dragon Ball Z. I'm going to do a Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Dragon Ball Super... Dragon Ball Heroes... You know, cosmology's killing. Because it's like you got many dimensional layers. Then you got the dead zone, which is like also spatial. And spatial temporal, to be honest. And then you have a higher dimensional afterlife that transcends all of that. By the judgments of the lower spatials and the mini manifolds they already talked about in Dokkan Battle, just on that alone, you already have like a 6th-dimensional level Universe 7. And then you add the neutral zone, which is like 70 or 80, and then you add the timeline, which is 80 or 90, and then you add an infinite array of them, which is like 10D or 11D, all in the crack of time. And you got Demigra like, yo, I'm gonna destroy all of this. You know, I'm gonna go beyond this. I'm gonna go beyond fiction, bro. I'm gonna go to the real world. And then Xenogoku's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna fight you in my base form, though. What? Yeah, I'm gonna fight you in my base form. But if you suck at this game, you can just make me turn Super Saiyan. Basically, you can beat him in base form. But if you suck at the game and you need Super Saiyan, go ahead. No, I'm just playing. You don't got to suck at the game. But the point is, oh, I would just go Super Saiyan on you. What? Yeah, I can stack on Super Saiyan 2, 3, and 4. That don't make no sense. Oh, yeah, in the manga, I told Supreme Kaioshin or Krona, I can't go Super Saiyan 4. Why not? Because it's going to change history. It's going to cause a shift in all infinite. It's going to cause a shift in all infinite universe 7s and infinite neutral zones and infinite timelines throughout the infinite crack of time. So in other words, a low hyperverse structure, you're going to cause a rupture in that just by transforming like some Lucifer Morningstar crap? Yep. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen with Xeno. Like, it's stupid. Of course he could fight a Celestial. Of course he can. I have no doubt he could fight a Celestial. Even if you want to ignore all of like the whole, well, beats world transcends fiction, which is technically low outer versal. Even if you want to ignore low outer versal Xenogoku's like, hey, Rocky Balboa, you know, he can fight. Like, no, it's over. He could fight a Celestial for sure. And he has the resistance amongst many of Demigra's hacks. Look at SJ Ryu's video and you'll find out all about that. Base Luffy off of the hyperbole of him and Kaido splitting the heavens. Oh my gosh, that was so stupid. I hate when people scale like that. Toyotaro was going to give us a Zikr type character at some point. I agree. The concept of hatred. So outer, I know you hate the term. Maybe you should scale. No, Reyes, let me explain. I don't hate the term outer versal. I just think it's too overly used. Because Xenogoku has went to the realm where the author exists. And I never denied that the Outerverse can't exist because the Outerverse levels can't exist. It's just, it means to pretty much not exist or to go to a writer level. So like when these characters go to writer levels, then I can believe it. And that's kind of something Xenogoku has done. He's went to the author realm. And remember, the 4D Universal Studios movie events are canon to Dragon Ball Super Heroes, including Dragon Ball Fusions and Fighters, and Shin Budokai, and the movies, and the filler, and the data books, and anything else that you want to throw in there. Why does Capsule Goku know who Bojack is and Turles? I don't know. It follows the events of Supers and asserts that all the movie events happen. Why? Because I don't know. It's DB. But I think that should be it for the stream, guys. So it's reached that time. I do have to get going soon because I do got to run to the shop and also got to go play some games with my family and my wife, my lovely queen. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for who tuned into the stream. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I know this has been a long one, and I was fun conversing with the chat. And yeah, SJ Ryu's video on Demigra is well done. I hope he does a video with me on the cosmology of Dragon Ball so I can explain a little bit more to him. Because the thing about it is that Dragon Ball fits a lot of the criteria and descriptions of the Versus Battle Wiki. It's just nobody knows how to articulate an argument for it or how to use the proper paragraphical syntax to kind of convince the mods that, hey, this is how they scale. Please update. But there's so much hatred and bias against Dragon Ball, it's very hard to get an upgrade. I mean, look what they did with Roshi. So that's why I don't bother posting it there. There's no point. It's like that video I did. Who's Zamasu again? So, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. This has been Atari H&B. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'm signing off. Peace.